Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today we're going to talk about artificial intelligence. And I just read some really surprising studies about artificial intelligence in terms of where it's going to go, how it may affect your job, and some information that you just don't want to miss. So get comfortable, hit the thumbs up button, buckle your seatbelt. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to say hi to everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me. Let's do a quick audio check. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Just in case, whether you want to listen on audio or video, just so you know, this podcast is on Spotify, and so we just crossed over 1 million downloads on Spotify recently, and I love the idea that black intelligence can draw an audience like that. I think we're over 500 million views on YouTube, and so we're right on target on our mission to make the black community the most intelligent community on the planet, the B1 community. Not every black person wants to be intelligent. It's okay. You got to forgive them, for they know not what they do. It's all right. If you're a little ignorant, that's all right. You know, maybe you got to grow up. Maybe white man got to kick you in the head a little bit. Maybe you got to go through some things. But for those of you that get it, I'm glad you're here. And you are the ones that I'm here for. You're the reason that I come on here every day, because I'm not trying to save everybody. I just want to help those who have already chosen to save themselves. Give me an amen in the chat if you agree with that. Let me know if that if that makes sense to you. All right, so I want to say hello to Stacy Johnson from Atlantic City. Terrell Thomas, good to see you. Lynn Hampton, Yoshika Garner, I always see you in there, Yoshika. God bless you, sister. And everybody else. And also, I'm going to be, Latanya, I'm going to be in Los Angeles in a couple of days, the 8th and the 9th. So if you live in the LA area, if you want to fly in or something like that, feel free to come on by. And I'm going to do a 2-day Black Wealth training camp. And this training camp is going to focus on something I've never done before. Some of you have asked me to do a breakdown of how I built a platform with no help. I used my paychecks from Syracuse University when I left the faculty, and it was a contentious exit. They didn't want me around. I didn't want to be around, and so it was kind of messy. But you know what? I'm very, very happy that I went and did other things, because I've been very, very happy in my career. And so I wrote a few books. The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power is my latest book. Black American Money, 1, 2, and 3, actually. I also wrote a book called Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About College. So if you have kids that are going to college, I want you to make sure that they go in prepared. Like, don't just send your kids to school hoping for the best. Send them in there in a situation where they're going to be able to be successful, okay? All right, so anyway, if you want to join us in Los Angeles, just go to boycewatkins.com. If you go to the bottom of the page, that information is there. Also at boycewatkins.com, there's a lot of free information. Beverly says I should talk slower. Give me a yes if you think I talk too fast. Y'all think I talk too fast? It's okay. I love you, Beverly Lewis. Thank you for making that comment. I want to learn to take constructive criticism. Do I talk too fast sometimes? What do y'all think? Let me know. I'm really curious. I don't want to talk fast. I think I get excited. I think when I get excited, I just go, and I talk a lot. I know I talk too much. I've been told I talk too much. Beverly said, okay, Sandra says yes. Beverly, well, she said, we already know what you think, Beverly. Okay, I see some nosy. That's tough. That's really okay. So I'm gonna just mix it up then. I'm gonna go fast and a little slow, then fast and slow. I'll go back and forth. All right. So anyway, let's get back to it. Let's get to the topic. Do me a favor. please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell because because I think it's really hard to connect with you guys. Even though I have like over 1 million subscribers on different YouTube channels, it's really hard to get the notifications out. So maybe the notification bell will help. Also, you can get on a text list where I'll text you stock market alerts, stocks that I like. Just text the word stock to 31996. If you text stock to 31996, I'll send you profit alerts, and so that way I'll let you guys know when we go live. I can't do it every single time, but if you check the channel every day, there should be new stuff. And also on Spotify, you check Spotify regularly. There's stuff up there almost every day. All right, so here's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So I was in Kentucky for a day or so to visit with my parents, getting ready to go to Los Angeles for our Black Wealth training camp. And I was reading this article about artificial intelligence. And what inspired me to read more about it was I was sitting with my parents and we were just kind of hanging out, and they were talking about AI, and they were talking about, their conspiracy theories about how they believe that a lot of the AI push occurred right after the pandemic, right as people didn't want to go to work anymore. Right now, here's what happened during the pandemic, in my opinion. My humble 2 cents is that the pandemic was an awakening. It was a wake-up call for a lot of us. It was a time where a lot of us realized, hey, wait a minute, I don't actually have to spend all my time at the corporate plantation. Hey, maybe there are other things that God intended for me to do with my life other than sitting at work all day doing a job that doesn't matter. Maybe there are ways I can do things that are going to make money for my family and not just for other people, right? So people became conscious. There was a sort of a broad consciousness that occurred during the pandemic. Give me a yes if you kind of went through that, where you felt where it kind of changed you in terms of who you are, what you believe, what you want to do with your life. And I know I kind of felt that way, but really, truth be told, I had already kind of gone through that a long time ago. Years ago, I decided, I think in the 90s, I decided I don't want to get up and go to work every day. I want to find some way to work from home. And I'd been doing that, pretty much my whole life. And I'm just not good with like corporate jobs and stuff. I'm the brother that'll get you fired. So I kind of knew you have to know yourself, right? So anyway, with the pandemic, it changed a lot of people's perspectives on work for good reason. In a reminder, you guys know we live in a society where the haves tend to really isolate themselves economically from the have-nots, where there is a lot of economic bias in our society. There is a lot of economic distortion in our society, where certain people are able to hoard the majority of the wealth. I can show you a bunch of really alarming statistics regarding just how much wealth is absorbed by the top 1%, top 2%, top 10%. It's really sickening. It's kind of sad. So anyway, now AI comes along. So here's what, based on what I know about capitalism and what I know about America, what I can automatically tell you all without a doubt is that those who run businesses are looking for ways to use AI to keep from hiring people. The biggest obstacle, the biggest thing that Amazon seems to hate the most is this thing called human beings. They hate human beings. You know why they hate human beings? Because human beings, they need like bathroom breaks. They don't like human beings because human beings want these things called labor rights. They don't like human beings because human beings talk about things like work-life balance. Robots don't talk about any of those things. Robots will work as long as you want, be super productive, and will give you no problems at all, and will work for 1/10 of what the human being costs. And the robots right now are not as good as they're going to be in the future. I can guarantee you AI is advancing at a very rapid pace. So it's extremely important that you understand what's happening, that you just kind of make sure that you're prepared for this trajectory. So Nvidia recently gave a speech about AI, the CEO of Nvidia, and he was claiming that AI is going to be a $600 billion industry very soon. And I'm going to read some of that to you and kind of give you a quick Dr. Boyce breakdown on what I see and what I'm thinking and what this looks like to me. Okay, so this is on Yahoo Finance. Please hit that thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe if you have not done that yet. And also, don't forget, follow us on Spotify. The podcast is there too. All right, so here's what it says. He says, it says, speaking to a standing room only crowd at the Goldman Sachs Communicopia and Tech Conference on Tuesday, Nvidia exec Manuvir Das outlined some startling numbers on the market for artificial intelligence. According to Das, the total addressable market for AI will consist of 300 billion in chips and systems, 150 billion in generative AI software, and 150 billion in omniverse enterprise software. These figures represent growth over the long term, Das said, though he did not specify a target date. The grand total adds up to about 600 billion AI fueled market opportunities that is tied to what Nvidia calls accelerated computing. Quote, it's not just about the chips, it's about the whole stack. He also says that despite the recent boom in AI since last November, Nextdoor CEO Sarah Fryer said that the value of AI has been building over years. It's not a new thing, Fryer told Yahoo Finance's Brian Sozzi at the conference. ChatGPT unleashed generative AI and really brought it in, I think, to the cultural domain. But of course, we've all been investing in data now for decades, and we're starting to see it come to fruition. In fact, y'all know what actually helped me know about the advances in AI over 15 years ago? What I saw with the advances in AI, does anybody else ever play video games? Or am I the only gamer in the room? I know people think video games are for kids. There's a lot of like 30, 40, 50-year-old gamers. It's like rap, like Jay-Z's going to be 60 and he'll probably still be able to rap when he's 60. Eminem will still be able to rap when he's in his 50s, right? So hip hop as a genre will age with the performers. They're not going to stop rapping well just because they're older. It'll be like jazz. Jazz used to be just for the teeny boppers. Then eventually all the jazz artists were a bunch of old people. That's because the performers aged and that caused the genre to age, right? So same thing is true with gaming. Right? So I like video games, and the game I play is called Call of Duty, and I love it. And I met some of my best friends on the game, and it's so much fun. But years before Call of Duty, I got back into gaming just to challenge myself. Just in case you want to know, one tip for everybody over the age of 40 is they say that the best way to keep your brain sharp is to find something completely new and force yourself to learn something new every 5 years. If you do that every 5 years, then what happens is you're rewiring your brain. You're rewiring, and that helps you fight off stuff like Alzheimer's and stuff like that. That's what the part of what drove me to become an airplane pilot. It was something I knew nothing about. Now I can fly an airplane by myself. I've done it. I've gotten up in the plane, taken off, and gone places and all that. Like I'm just doing my training every week. Well, video games was my thing at that time because I wanted to connect to our 17-year-old. Long story short, I used to play this game called Halo back in like 2002. And I remember playing the game. This was back when I had just joined the faculty at Syracuse University. And I was sitting on this game, and I was really kind of amazed at how the non-player characters were just so responsive. Another one, Grand Theft Auto. I used to play a lot of Grand Theft Auto back in the day. I'm talking about 20 years ago. And I remember noticing that the game was very intelligent. They were able to respond to my moves and all this other stuff. So AI has been on the radar for a while. It's just fascinating that it became so big all of a sudden, that ChatGPT kind of popped out there. But honestly, I think a lot of that stuff has been around for a minute. And also, I think what's interesting is now there are these conversations about AI in terms of what it can mean for our society. If you saw the movie Oppenheimer, I saw Oppenheimer. It's a great movie. It's all about when they developed the atomic bomb. And I saw an article the other day, and they said, who's going to be the Oppenheimer of AI? Who's going to be the person that invents some super weapon that is going to just kill everybody, and there'll be nothing we can do about it? I don't know if that's going to occur, but there are a lot of concerns about AI, and I don't doubt any of those concerns at all. I'm just sort of taking in the information. But let's talk about a more direct and more immediate concern that's already actually happening is job replacement. Job replacement. How many of you have seen or have experienced job replacement as a result of AI? How many of you have seen scenarios where maybe you had a certain job, or maybe you were hiring for a certain job, or maybe you just observed a friend that had a certain job where you noticed that AI could actually do that job? Anybody ever notice that? Like right now, for example, I'm going out to LA. Part of the reason I wanted to go to LA and do this particular training that I'm going to do on the 8th and the 9th is because I feel bad for those actors, writers, and directors in Hollywood, because AI, these companies are going to replace a lot of these writers with AI. Right now, AI can't write great scripts. Right now, AI cannot write extraordinary scripts. But let's just kind of do a fun little test real quick. Let's give me an idea for a script, and I want y'all to tell me what you want the story to be about. So put a couple things in. Let's play this game. Give me some ideas. What kind of script would you want? I want to write a movie script, and we're going to write it in the next 3 or 4 minutes. Some of y'all already know how to do this. So if you've already done this, then I apologize. But I kind of want to have some fun so we can kind of consciously explore just what AI can do now, and then imagine what it can do 5 years from now. So give me an idea. Give me an idea. Let's make a movie. Anybody want to make a movie script? Come on. We got a movie that's coming out called, or it's already come out. It's called B1 the movie. It was by the way, thanks to those of you who came to the premiere in Atlanta. I couldn't make it. My wife had COVID, but a lot of you came out, and I appreciate that. All right, so let's see here. Give me a script. Come on. Give me an idea. We're gonna make a movie. What should it be about? Black Wall Street. Okay, there we go. It's a Black Wall Street thing. A superhero that combats police brutality on Black Wall Street. Black family moves to the moon on Black Wall Street. Okay, so let me type this in here. Write me a 3-page movie script about a family that starts Black Wall Street on the moon and fights police brutality at the same time. Let's grab another idea. Come on, give me a little more. Let's see. Oh. And also they are superheroes. Anybody else? Anybody got another one? A person in therapy that wants to die but also live. Okay. And then I'll say the mom is in therapy and wants to die but also wants to live. Okay. All right. So that's enough. All right. So I just put that in ChatGPT. Let's see what comes up. All right, so the title is called Moonrise Dynasty. The first scene is in the living room. A sophisticated family adorned with a fusion Afro-futuristic modern decor. The Steele family, that's the name of the family, a family with supernatural abilities gathers around. They are Marcus, who's in his 50s. He's the father. Linda is the mother in her 40s. Malik is 20. He's in his 20s. He's the son. Janelle is 18, the daughter. The first scene is in Linda's therapy room. Linda, a beautiful middle-aged woman with an ethereal presence, sits in therapy, conflicted by her desire to live and to leave this world. Her therapist, Dr. Carter, guides her through this journey. Dr. Carter says, sometimes our greatest strength is born from our deepest pain, Linda. Remember, you're not just fighting for yourself, but for a brighter future, a new beginning on the moon. And then, so the next scene is on the moon's surface, a bustling community resembling Black Wall Street in its prime, only this time on the moon's surface, where Afrofuturism meets the dreams of the early 20th century pioneers. Skyscrapers and small businesses proudly display symbols of Black culture and heritage. The Steele family is at the center of this new economic hub, fostering growth and prosperity. And I haven't even read the whole script. It's a 3-page script. There's a whole lot more. So what do y'all think? This is from ChatGPT. Would y'all, if we made a movie like that, just from what you've read, would that be something that you'd be interested in? Would that be something you consider seeing? If for those of you that are filmmakers, would you think that this could be a fun movie to make? What do you think? Right? This was the creativity that came out of a freaking computer. And so in case you don't know, now you know, right? Remember, B1 people, our job is to be ahead of the rest of the world. We ain't trying to play catch up. They catching up to y'all. So I need y'all to just kind of be aware of what's going on in this space, because this is not a game, people. This is not a game. And these writers in Hollywood, these directors and actors, I love you. I really do. I think that your talent is hard to replace. There's certain elements of human creativity that are hard to get rid of. But what if they just had somebody that said, okay, well, we're going to write the script on AI, but we're just going to then go in and take the skeleton of the script and just make it a little bit better, right? That can still be pretty good. And think about it. I mean, really, I mean, seriously, y'all see some of this crap that ends up on TV, that ends up becoming hit shows? It's not like it's like, you know, always like some stuff that's like ultra brilliant. Some stuff has to actually be dumbed down, because sometimes if a script is too smart, then you'll lose the audience, right? So a lot of stuff, why am I on the screen with a mustache and a hat? That's so funny that people do that. I think that's so funny. How do y'all do that? That's just crazy. Anyway, all right, so, but keep doing it. That's fun. That's cool. All right, so anyway, so the point of the matter is to say that AI definitely is a job threat. If I'm thinking like Amazon, here's what I'm doing from Amazon. In fact, I know that they're doing this. They're buying 1,000 robots a day. I don't know if you know that Amazon's buying 1,000 robots a day. The reason they're buying 1,000 robots a day is because, number one, the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is a huge fan of technology. Whatever the most advanced technology is, he's using that before everybody else. Number two, Amazon has had a lot of labor unrest. They've had a lot of complaints from the human beings. Again, they're the humans go complaining again, asking for bathroom breaks and stuff. And I think that pretty soon these Amazon factories are going to be full of robots. The only humans that will be in those factories will be people that will be managing the robots. And so ultimately, I think same thing's going to happen in terms of this writer strike. Disney, I studied the business models of Disney and Netflix and all that. And I remember saying years ago, I remember thinking they are spending so much money on content. I don't know if this streaming is going to be profitable because I remember Netflix was making something like $20 billion a year or something ridiculous from their streaming, but they went out and borrowed another 14 billion to make content. I said, if you're making damn near 20 billion a year, why do you need to borrow money? That didn't make sense to me. But what was happening was there was an arms race. So all these companies, Disney, Netflix, Paramount, were all trying to outspend each other. And the thing that they thought was going to be a profitable cash cow for the company ended up being a money pit. It became a huge money pit. Disney was losing billions from their streaming because they grew so fast, and they were investing all their money toward trying to grow. Paramount Pictures, Paramount, they Paramount Plus, that's what it is. They gained I think several million subscribers, but they lost $1 billion in one quarter. So a lot of these companies are now looking at their streaming and saying, okay, we got to redo this business model. In fact, Disney cut their costs. They lost some subscribers. They don't care. They cut their costs, raised their prices because they said we got to do this profitably. So right now, this strike is happening at a time where the studios are having a hard time making a profit. So if you're a studio that's having a hard time making a profit and your workers are pissed off at you anyway, that might be the time where you start doing some experimentation with AI, right? And also the streaming companies, they have so much content in the vault that I think some of them are still going to find a way around some of this. Not completely though, because I did read where Warner Brothers is going to lose. I think they did a $500 million write down because of the writer's strike. But Warner Brothers has a different model from say a Netflix or a Disney. So I'd be really curious to see how they're responding to the strike. Okay, so anyway, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. And by the way, I don't get to mention this much, but if you ever wanted me to come in and do a training with your church or with your group or something like that, we do offer trainings like that in the Black Business School. We can do virtual or in person. So you can reach out to Chanel. Her email address is on the screen. That's 1 N and 2 L, Chanel@boycewatkins.com. So feel free to reach out to Chanel and she can work with you. Also, boycewatkins.com. We have free stuff like the $5 a day investing plan, the training, how to make money without working, and lots of other good stuff that can help you. So feel free to go to boycewatkins.com to take a look. Or if you want to join us in LA on the 8th and the 9th, I'll be there for a couple of days. Feel free to go there too. All right. So let's keep talking about AI here. I compiled this short list of some ways that you can sort of prepare for AI, right? AI is not going to go away. You're going to live in a world where AI is going to be pretty prevalent. Your children are going to be in that world. They're going to be deep in that world. And one of the things about AI, it was really interesting. I was watching this college president. I think she was the president of Washington University. And they were asking her, why does college cost so much? And she was giving like the vaguest answer I've ever seen. And she wasn't really answering the question. And then they said, well, what can you do to reduce the cost? And she still didn't answer the question. She kept talking about value propositions and crap like that. And then she said, then the lady flat out said, the president of Purdue University froze the cost of tuition 10 years ago, and it's still frozen now. Why can't other colleges do that? And I kid you not, she still did not answer the question. So, but anyway, one thing that she did say that did make sense was they asked her about AI. And one thing that she said is that learning and intelligence and education still has a space in the AI world, but it's not what it used to be, right? So a few skills that you might be able to pick up that can help you in the world of AI is one, critical thinking skills are so important. Having the ability to analyze things, analyze complex data, stuff like that, solve problems, etc. That can help you because there are problems that AI really can't solve. Also, they mentioned here, I just found an article, strengthening emotional intelligence and people skills, empathy and communication. AI can't do that very well, at least not yet. You want to engage in lifelong learning. That means that learning shouldn't be something that you just do when you're in school. Learning should be something that you do as part of your culture. So part of B1 culture should be learning new things. Everybody type the word learn in the chat. You got to keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. I learn every single day. I finished my PhD 20 years ago, but I still learn every single day. So I probably know 3 times more now than I knew 20 years ago. Focusing on creativity and innovation. They said creative thinking fosters your ability to think creatively and generate new ideas that AI can't do right now. Also, take initiative and demonstrate leadership. So be proactive in identifying opportunities and taking the initiative to seize them. So ultimately, things like leadership skills, empathy, communication skill, lifelong learning goes a long way to kind of challenging AI. Because here's the thing. Here's the other thing about AI that's really important to understand is that every time there's a new technology, there's a lot of fear, right? When they invented, when calculators came along, everybody was mortified because you know that there was, if anybody's seen the movie Hidden Figures, which is a great movie, by the way. In the movie Hidden Figures, they had a job called a calculator. That's what they were a bunch of human beings that would sit in a room and do math all day, right? They were literally called calculators. So then calculators come along, computers come along, and they're like, whoa, this is crazy. This is the end of the world. A computer can actually solve a math problem. Well, they just adjusted, they adapted, right? With the computer, you still had skill. That person who could sit at the board and do all that math was still valuable. They were just valuable in a different way. They were also expected to be more productive. Right now, the computer can do some of those tasks that might have taken you an hour to do, but now they don't take an hour, they take 2 seconds. So you're still relevant, but instead of producing, at this level, you're now expected to produce at that level. So what happens with technology is that technology tends to make a society more productive, right? So it doesn't mean that human beings get booted out. I don't think human beings are just going to become worthless or anything like that. But I do think that you want to adjust, because there are going to be some people who, because they can't adjust, are really going to get left behind and not quite know what to do. B1 people won't have that problem because we're having these conversations, and I encourage you to keep thinking about these things as life goes on. And also another thing to help you with, if you text the word stock to 31996 and get on an email list, there's a list of AI stocks that I send out to you guys. It's actually the text list. So you text the word stock to 31996, and I'll send you a list of AI stocks that I like. And these are companies that are expected to do well with the AI boom. That's another way that you prepare for AI is, when you see the Nvidias and all these other companies taking off and making all this money, you want to be connected to that. You want to be invested with those companies, because if you're invested, if I'm connected to you, that means when you rise, I rise. And so you can't tell me that Amazon is going to ever forget how to make money. Microsoft will never forget how to make money. Nvidia will not forget how to make money. So if you're an investor in these companies, then your wealth will grow with their wealth. In fact, if you look at a stock like Apple, Apple's a $3 trillion company. Their stock is trading for about 180-ish. You really could have bought Apple stock for less than $1 around the year 2000, year 1999. I don't know if y'all know that or not. And so I'm not here to tell you that you were silly for missing out on this, but it's not like Apple came out of nowhere. It's not like you didn't know about Apple in 1999. It's not like Apple wasn't already a massive corporation. They just came up with some really cool, innovative products, the iPod, the iPhone, and all these other things that sort of took them to the next level. But so in a way, they were kind of like the Jay-Z of stocks, in the sense that I always call Apple the Jay-Z of stocks for a couple of reasons. But one other reason that they're the Jay-Z of stocks, in my opinion, is because if you remember, Jay-Z was always around. Jay-Z didn't just pop on the scene. Jay-Z is not a new artist, but Jay-Z kind of went to another level. Anybody else notice that? Like he was here back in the Damon Dash days when they were doing, whatever the songs were, Big Pimpin', Spinning Cheese and all that. And then they kind of did that Hova thing. And it's like Jay-Z just kind of climbed the ladder and kind of elevated himself above like the other artists for some reason, right? Because he was able to cultivate his brand in a certain way. I think Apple's kind of done the same thing. They've kind of said they were always there. They were kind of competing, battling with all the other companies. And then suddenly they just kind of rose up and became something different, which is a credit, in my view, to the genius of the late Steve Jobs. So ultimately, what I want to encourage you to do is keep investing. Of course, you guys know that's important, and just keep paying attention and don't be scared. Don't let fear drive your decision making. If fear is your decision maker, then you're probably going to make a bad decision. You should not live your life based on fear. You should live your life based on possibility and opportunity, because opportunities are everywhere. I promise you that. All right. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. In case you don't know, don't forget the All Black National Convention is going to be October 20th in Atlanta. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. I'll put that URL on the screen so you guys can see it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We gathered over 40 experts from our community that put our community first. Strictly positive. Everybody's strong and focused and ready. And it's also a lot of fun. You have a lot of fun at the convention. So feel free to join us. Go to allblacknationalconvention.com. And also, if you want to get started on your path to learning about money, we have a popular course called Black Money 101. So feel free to go to blackmoney101.com. We discounted the price quite a bit. So you can feel free to go take a look at that. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget, we're on Spotify. And I will see you guys in Los Angeles as well. BoyceWatkins.com if you want more information. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.